previewing the next game after a win is something we ain't did in about a year, Q. How you feel about that?
I feel good. If we win this weekend against Vegas, we doing shots live on the pod.
Shots to my lord or
You
what?
call it
For Loco?
Cutwater.
Let's do that. Shots of cup water. To keep it Chicago, we gotta throw Malort back too with it.
I'm with
You
it.
ever had Malort?
I don't think so.
I've had it one time, and our mutual friend, she put me on it, and I was disgusted with myself afterwards.
I was
But it's a Chicago thing. You got to do it.
I was disgusted with myself after drinking them Cutwaters. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that little thotty ass drink and that little bitty ass can actually had me drunk. I was ashamed of myself.
It would definitely have you slumped over. That cup water sneak up on you for real. Because it take you by surprise. You don't think it's gonna do what it's gonna do, but it definitely gets you because a buzz ball. It's bad intentions behind a buzz ball, behind a Four Loco, and some of the other things. You're like, all right, this is some cheap liquor. I know what's gonna happen to me. That cut water, it's unassuming. You don't know it's about to hit you.
Very
Then
unassuming.
take a couple sips of that. You like, damn, what's this? You read the label, like, oh, I'm in for a night. This got like 17% alcohol.
Listen, I didn't read the label. I just got it because everybody kept talking about it. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and try it.
Mm-hmm.
Midway through the first one, not midway through the first one, midway through the second one, I was fighting for my life. The first one went down pretty smooth. I was like, what is this? I got halfway through the second one, and I was literally fighting for my life. And I had to look at the can and was like, okay, you didn't come to play. You definitely are a worthy opponent. I underestimated you, Cutwater.
Yeah, man. We hope the Bears don't do that this Sunday, though. Don't underestimate the ops. It's Chicago takeover in Vegas, Q. There's a big swamp of Chicago people
Yes,
in Vegas right now. We got boots on the ground. Even one of our own is there. Tiff,
of
she
course.
gonna be reporting. You know how Tiff get out. She gonna be reporting from the festivities. Hopefully, it's gonna happen after a win, though. Um, when was the last time you was in Vegas?
The last time I was in Vegas was pre-pandemic. I want to say
Me too.
2017, 2018, around then. So
Damn.
what you're saying is I'm due for another trip to Vegas. That's what you're saying.
I'm definitely saying that. I think 2017 was the last time I was there too. I don't even know what Vegas looked like after the pandemic. It probably ain't the same Vegas, but Vegas, I've been to Vegas I think 3 times, and it's always different each time I go. But it's Vegas is always Vegas, and for those who's there for the first time, listening to the pod, I got some helpful tips for you to help you not come back all messed up. One, make sure you dress appropriately. It may be 80, 90 degrees while you're there, late September, but that desert, it's still the desert. When that sun go down, it's gonna hit you in the face, and don't get caught by surprise. Number two, wear comfy walking shoes. I cannot stress this enough. The Uber situation in Vegas is not it's not what you think it is. And hitting that strip is gonna hit you a whole different way if your feet barking at you. Definitely walking through the casinos. That leaves you number three. Buffet over restaurant. Q.
Yes.
If you if you're gonna eat, and you're definitely gonna eat, you're gonna need to line the belly
Gonna need
to make sure the cut waters don't hurt you. You need to line the belly, and the restaurants they gonna hit that pocket. So the best way to do that, make sure you hit that buffet. Go hit the slot machine until it's buffet time. Then eat all you can because the buffet will save your life. The last one I got, and I cannot stress this enough: do not stop for them car poppers on the street. If you've been to Vegas, you know what I'm talking about. The people that be popping them cars, like, hey, check it out, check it out, check it out. Treat it like it's Chicago.
never take that.
Walking, keep moving. Don't even stop. Them car poppers don't do nothing but waste your time. You got any other tips for Vegas?
Just the heat situation. I've been a black man all my life. And as a black man all my life, I've been melanated. I never had sunburn until I went to Vegas. Being outside all day in that heat and that sun, definitely got sunburned. Did not know I was capable of getting it. Found out. FAFO.
Right. Right. That is a real thing. Definitely that Vegas sun is not no punk. It come to take all your it don't come to play, like you said. Last thing. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I definitely was gonna say that. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Except for syphilis. That should have
It,
come back with you.
that comes on the plane with you. Yes, it does. Be careful while you out there being freaky. Don't be overly freaky. It's Vegas, but wear protection. As hot as it is, it's not gonna eat up the chlamydia or the syphilis or the herpes.
Mm. The worst thing you can do is have that herp dog, a Vegas herp dog. You don't need that. Vegas bumps are not the bumps you want.
I don't want any bumps, but I definitely don't want to.
Say that shit again.
And don't be afraid to pay for it. You're in Vegas. That goes for you too, ladies.
Man, it's legal, right? It's legal in Vegas, I think. Something like that. I don't know. I
Experience
think you
by
just
means.
right now, yeah. Let your loins experience Vegas too. Chicago Bears are traveling to Sin City to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Q, this is a big game for both teams as they both enter week 4 sitting at 1-2. The goal for the Bears, get to 2-2 before the bye week. Let's start with the injury report. As I just stated, the Bears have a bye week after this game. You're probably not going to see guys like Kyler Gordon or TJ Edwards that's been nursing long-standing injuries with that bye week right there. So I'm not looking for them off top. But let's run through the injury report real quick. You got the aforementioned TJ Edwards and Kyler Gordon. They both got the hamstrings. They haven't practiced all week. Grady Jarrett with his knee issues. He has not practiced all week. Colston Loveland with his hip. He has not practiced all week. Darnell Wright with his elbow. He has not practiced all week. Jalen Jones, hamstring, limited, as well as DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet, and DeMarco Jackson. They have all notched at limited practice. Cole Kmet, he's on the injury report, but he is showing a full participant on Thursday. Let's switch to the Raiders. Raiders, your boy, Brock Bowers. He has a knee injury, but he was a full participant. Jeremy Chin with his chest injury, limited participant. Michael Mayer, another tight end, has not practiced. It's a lot of Bears on that injury report, Q.
Some good Bears, some key Bears.
Yeah, I don't expect to see TJ or Kyler. I expect to see them after the bye. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I did see something on Kyler Gordon's Twitter or X or whatever the kids are calling it nowadays. He posted something with the caption "loading." I hope that means he's on the way back soon. Not this week. Not this week. I do want to see him this week. I want to see him after the bye.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Kyler. Yeah, don't do it. Just come back after the bye. Hamstrings are tricky. You want to make sure that thing is all the way healed before you play around. We don't need another Jalen Johnson type situation. Don't rush back.
Exactly. So out of all the Bears I named, who jumped off the page to you first? Like what big name was like, dang, they ain't did no practices yet? This is after Thursday?
Darnell Wright. But because Max Crosby lines up over the right tackle. And if Darnell's not going to play, that means you're likely going to have an inexperienced guy over there, and Theo Benedict or Ozzie Trapillo. So Max Crosby's definitely going to be licking his chops. That's the one that jumps off because, despite what I may think of Darnell Wright, he is your best chance at facing Max Crosby on that at either offensive tackle spot.
For those that didn't see the game, Darnell Wright, he got his arm caught in the middle of a tackle of DeAndre Swift, as a matter of fact. He left the game. It came back with a brace on his elbow, on his arm to protect the elbow. Theo Benedict, he subbed in for Darnell while he was out. Theo looked decent at playing right tackle. You mentioned him, Ozzie Trapillo. It sounds as if Theo Benedict would get the call again. I mean, if he would sub in for him during the game, he would probably be the first guy up, especially since Ozzy hasn't dressed all season.
Well, there's two things with that. Theo is their top swing tackle, and I think Theo actually plays some special teams. Only a couple offensive line play special teams, so that could factor in Ozzy being inactive because he's not on any of the special teams. I think Theo was on. Believe I'm pretty sure I see him on field goal protection, and there might be another phase special teams he's on. So that could be one thing. Then again, you're right. Theo just might be over Ozzy, but I wouldn't be surprised if they gave Ozzy the call. But man, talk about throwing a rookie into the fire. First game, Max Crosby, probably a top 5 edge in this league, right around there. That's a very tough assignment.
Yeah, but so what? So what? All assignments are tough. I don't want to. I don't want to go into a deep end on confusing draft selections, but if you drafted this guy in the second round to play right tackle, we haven't heard his name at all, really, since you found out he couldn't play left tackle.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
one guy's undrafted from Canada. Shout out to Canada, but I don't necessarily think of them as necessarily a football machine. Um, and then you drafted a guy in the second round. I know he's green, but he got to be ripe enough to get out there. I mean, it's kind of a that's scary if you're picking a guy in the second round and he's not even active. Let's start there.
but yeah, I mean, we can talk a lot about that because how now going into the fourth week, a month of football games, your second round pick is not active. Oh,
I could understand if the guy missed training camp or missed all of OTAs or was recovering from an injury and you're trying to speed him up. This guy was healthy for OTAs and healthy for training camp. And how is he not ready to produce?
confusing times, my friend. Confusing. Ryan Poles, we would love to hear from you to explain some of this, but we
Please
probably
do,
won't
because
hear it.
there's
Mm.
either a misevaluation of talent or there's a not enough preparation. But one of the two has to be right if you don't have a all pro right tackle over there being backed up by a frontline starting right tackle. So
Speaking about preparation, I know if he jagged another draft for the squad, Mr. Poles gonna need some preparation H for some buns sitting on the hot seat. Yes.
really hot seat.
Grady Jarrett has not practiced this week, but from what I understand, it's more of a vet thing, not practicing. I do expect to see him. I expect to see him
Practice is
practice
gonna
Friday. Colson Loveland, I'm not sure if it doesn't his hip injury doesn't seem that it's going to be that'll hold him out. So I, I'm I'm not too concerned with him. DeAndre Swift, um, he is also expected to be okay. Jalen Jones, same thing. Like I said, Cole Kmet, he was upgraded on Thursday to a full participation. So those are all what we're looking for as far as injuries. I did have one thing to say about the Raiders injury report. Your boy Brock Bowers, he's trying to get back from a knee issue. Knee issues with players of his size, kind of tricky. Keep watch of that. The Bears are coming off a big home win against those Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Caleb Williams had one of his best outings as a professional quarterback. He was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He threw for 298 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and had a plus 140 quarterback rating.
I want to say shout out to Matt Eberflus for finally being instrumental in the development of a Bear quarterback. He did his thing.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks.
Uh,
Thanks for that.
Eberflus is a Bear for life.
Let's not go too far. Not a bear for life, but he can have one of the free glizzies that was given away at Wiener Circle. He can do that. He helped Caleb get 4 touchdown passes. So go ahead and get you a dog too. No ketchup. If you put ketchup on it, I hope they throw it in your face.
We're not welcoming Eberflus back.
To do what?
Mr. Eberflus did say he knows all the strengths and weaknesses of the entire Bears locker room, and he would use that to install game prep and help Schottenheimer out. It makes me think that Eberflus is still bearing down. Once a bear, always a bear. I'm gonna tell you that again. Once a bear, always a bear.
You know what? When Ditka left, he was still kind of a bear. And he still was doing some bear stuff down there in New Orleans. Money too, when he went to Miami. So You might not be too off about that.
R.I.P. Mike Dicker.
As of recording this, DraftKings has the Raiders as a slight fave. They are 1.5 point favorites on that platform. They're coached by Pete Carroll. Everybody knows Pete, uh, probably a future Hall of Fame coach in the NFL. Got a decorated record, NFL and college football. He's going to have this Raiders team prepared to play. I'm not going to dismiss the Raiders as quickly as some other people will, because I think it's going to be a tough road test. But let's start with the Bears offense against the Raiders defense. Q, who do you see with the edge in this matchup between Bears O, Raiders defense?
The Bears. The Raiders have struggled in a similar fashion to the Bears. Currently, the Raiders are 24th ranked defense overall. I think this is the opportunity where the Bears can put up some more points and have another big performance. The Raiders secondary isn't very strong. Uh, they have Max Crosby. He can obviously get after it. Malcolm Kuntz is a pretty good edge. Lost all of last year to a knee injury, but they're susceptible. You can run the ball on them. You can throw the ball on them. I got the Bears offense with a clear advantage on this Raiders defense.
The key for the Bears offense will be maintaining the momentum they found last week. I'm really big on momentum. Last week, we saw the Bears have no pre-snap penalties. Obviously, getting flagged to move backwards is bad in a game where you need to move forward. But another thing that's talked about not as much that holds you back, struggle with pre-snap discipline, is that you can't motion. That takes an aspect out of your offense. Motion is big in the NFL now, Q. The Bears use motion 76% of their offensive snaps last week. Third highest rate in the NFL this season. On those plays, they averaged 7.7 yards per play. The Raiders, just like the Cowboys, they run a lot of zone and have the lowest coverage grade in the NFL when facing plays with motion. Obviously, when you motion around a lot, you expose weaknesses in zones. So if the Bears can continue to be disciplined in their pre-snaps and not do anything stupid, holla, Darnell Wright may not play, Luther Burden, get you into what the quarterback's telling you. And I expect them to continue using the shifting and motion to dictate spacing and tempo against this Raiders defense. As you said, can be had in the secondary. Protection, also phenomenal against Dallas. Caleb wasn't touched one time on 28 pass attempts. However, like you also mentioned, the offensive line will be facing a different animal this week, something the Dallas Cowboys did not have. Raiders got Max Crosby. If you don't know who Max Crosby is, look him up. He's one of them guys. He's a dog. Whoever he lines up against, up over, he's gonna get him a lot of fits. On the other side, Malcolm Cone, he's a solid player he's a solid edge for Vegas too. I mean,
He's a guy I want the
no
Bears.
slouch himself.
Yeah, he's a guy I want the Bears to sign. I wanted him over Dio Adebango. Kuntz a couple years ago before he had an injury. I think he had an 8.5 sack season. He's a young and ascending player. And yeah, he's like you said, he's no slouch. But I mean, Braxton Jones is not getting a break this week by going against Malcolm Cruz. Although shout out to Braxton Jones, he put together a really good week last year. Not an elite edge, but Dante Fowler's been a solid pro for a long time. Malcolm Kuntz is around the same level, a little younger, a little more explosive. But yeah, like I agree with you. Kuntz he is no slouch.
Scale of 1 to 5, Q. How concerned are you for the Bears offensive line against this Raiders defensive line?
Well, the entire defensive line of the Raiders, I don't fear. It's the one guy, Max Crosby. The other guys, I'm not saying they're not good players or solid players, but they're nothing to be afraid of. Vegas, you can run on them. Scale of 1 to 5, a 4, and that 4 is pretty much Max Crosby. It's his 4.
I got him at a 3. Like I said earlier, I'm a big believer in momentum and all of that. All the offensive line needs to do is give Caleb 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Because there's an opportunity, like you pointed out, in that secondary. The Raiders' back seven is a bunch of, they just a bunch of guys.
Devin White's He's playing good football. I like Jeremy Chin, but whether he's healthy or not, he's a guy that you can have your way with in coverage. Jeremy Chin is a guy that plays better along the line of scrimmage. Eric Stokes is somebody we know. He was in the division with Green Bay, and he's gone for a reason. He's not gone because he's a highly coveted player. He's gone because he wasn't good enough. This is definitely a secondary that the Bears can beat. Like you said, this back seven is nothing special. A lot of guys, a lot of cast offs. Jermaine Pratt is out there, but these are guys you can beat. Devin White has been a good player, but he's nobody to fear, like you said. And really, outside of Max Crosby, there's really nobody that strikes fear in your heart on the Raiders defense.
Last thing on their secondary, they're allowing a passer rating of over 100 on the season.
Let's eat.
Thanksgiving time. On the ground, DeAndre Swift has struggled running the ball. He has two under Q. I didn't know you can go under this number, but he's under 2.3 yards per carry in 2 of the 3 games the Bears have played this season. Raiders defense is extremely vulnerable in that way too. Washington, who the Raiders played last week, they ran for over 200 yards against Vegas, even though it wasn't it wasn't a one back thing. I think Marcus Mariota may have led that team in rushing.
Yeah.
Check me on that.
No, I think Jeremy Nichols did. He wheeled off a 76-yard run that he was a leading rusher.
Okay. But still, 200 yards combined against Vegas. They averaged 6 yards per attempt, and they scored 3 touchdowns on the ground. Ben Johnson, he addressed the run game issues by having all the offensive players this week watch tape so they can tighten up details on blocking and running back and the gaps that they open up. It's now or never for me, Q. It's now or never for Swift to get this thing in motion because I don't think the blocking has been bad per se. I just think Swift is running into the back of people too much. He's not seeing the gaps that are there. His vision is. I think we talked about this
Yeah,
this
he's
whole
never been
time
a
about
guy that
Swift. His vision is terrible.
he's never been a guy that has great vision. Now if you can get him in open space, if you get him in space, he's dangerous. His speed and his ability to cut, but behind the line of scrimmage, operating as a running back, Swift has never demonstrated that type of vision to succeed. It's a guy you got to get in space. That's what works best for Swift. Fortunately, the Raiders aren't stopping the run. They're still weak up the middle. Max Crosby is a very good edge, but Max Crosby is not a guy that you're afraid of in the run game. You could run at Max Crosby. You can run at Max Crosby. You can run at Kuntz. So I think, like you said, this is now or never. This is the time where the run game needs to step up and start moving some bodies off the line of scrimmage and start getting some positive yards when we hand the ball off. You can't be getting 2 yards. I need to see some chunk plays this weekend. This is a defense ripe for beating on. And what I don't want to see, I don't want to see them allow on the other side of the ball. I guess we'll get to that in a minute. I don't want to see them allow Ashton Jonty to get himself going. Don't be that team.
Scale of 1 to 5. How confident are you that Swift can average over 3.5 per carry on Sunday?
I'm very confident. I think the Bears and Ben Johnson, I think they will have a concerted effort to get the run game going. So I do think that DeAndre Swift will have his best performance of the season, and the bar is pretty low. I think his best performance this year is 62 yards. Although he was running the ball well against the Lions, I think he was averaging 5.2 yards carry at 63 yards, but the bar is low. I think DeAndre can clear 70, 75 yards, depending on how many touches he gets. But I'm pretty confident he'll get over 3.5 yards per carry. Or we really need to evaluate things in a run game. If this is a game where DeAndre is puttering along at 2 or 3 yards a carry, it's time to evaluate things in a run game outside of the blocking scheme. Might be time to get another body back there.
Good segue. You said you're very confident, so that's a 4?
Yeah. Can't be too confident because we
Okay, 2
haven't done
4.
it consistently, but I will give it a solid 4. Shout out Angelo and them boys.
Scale of 1 to 5. How confident are you that Swift is even the leading rusher in this game for the Bears?
Thin ball rolling, I'm gonna get out of 5.
Okay.
Because I don't think they're ready to pull him yet or to share that backfield. And I think Caleb is going to be able to pick this secondary apart. And outside of the pressure from Crosby, I don't think he'll be flushed out the pocket enough to run the ball enough to be the leading rusher again.
Over under 6.5 offensive snaps for your boy Roshan.
Under.
Well, okay, okay, all right, under. But he is gonna get a snap on offense this week, though, right?
I don't know. He was active last week and he only was on special teams.
Yeah, let's Swift fuck around with the fuck around, and Roshan will get a good chunk
Or
come week
Kyle.
5.
Or Kyle.
Maybe.
And I know
We'll see.
Kyle had that negative 8-yard run, but I still believe in the kid. I still think there's some talent there. Maybe they call Ian Wheeler up. You get the doctor in the backfield. Ian's still on that
Listen,
roster.
man, no more nerds. Sorry.
That's one of your Lock brothers, though.
Yeah. I fuck with him. Yeah, he a part of the community, but no more nerds right now.
Are you telling Ian to go be a doctor, go pursue his dreams, make the Lock brothers proud that way?
There's nothing wrong with having multiple dreams. He's fulfilling one, but we need to figure this thing out in a major way first. I don't think the proliferation of nerds on this football team is helping this team fulfill my dreams of covering a playoff team, a playoff football team. So if it was between me, my dream, and Ian's dream, it's got to be me. I've got to put me first.
Damn, Ian, if you're watching this show, your fellow Lock brother has spoken. We need less rappers and athletes in the community. We need more doctors and lawyers. Ian, next time you come, next time Brother Pay sees you, he wants to see you giving him a checkup. make sure, make sure it's hard. Make sure his heart is still beating good. Not behind the line of scrimmage, running for the Bears.
Make us proud, Ian.
Make us proud. Make us healthy, Ian. Make us healthy.
Make Chicago healthy again. How about that?
Let's do it. Turning Point Fifth would agree.
You're full of shit.
On the flip side, the Raiders offense is led by Geno, yo boy Smith, who has a passer rating over 100 in 2 of the 3 games this season. Their passing game also features Trey Tucker, who was coming off a big game last week. 3 tutties, 145 yards.
I added him to my fantasy team.
Slept on that one. You mentioned this a little bit ago. The biggest potential problem for the Bears is their run defense. Through the first 3 weeks of the season, Chicago is 31st in the NFL in opponent yards per rush attempt. They're giving up 5.5 per carry. 5.5, Q. This sets up a bad situation with rookie running back Austin Jonty, first running back drafted in this last draft in April, who you thought the Bears was going to get, while a lot of people thought the Bears was going to end up getting. Jonty hasn't gotten off to a great start. He's only averaging 3.1 yards per carry. You can chalk it up to a lot of different reasons. Offensive line being bad, him being small, whatever the case may be. That's exactly why the Raiders have so many passing yards, because they're in negative game script. So all that being said, he is a very highly respected prospect. He is only averaging 1.07 yards per contact, but the fear is that this is a perfect storm for that young man to break out. Chicago, like I already said, Chicago has been very generous to running back so far this season. Q, which one of them guys scare you more, Jonty, Geno, or your boy, your newest acquisition in fantasy, Trey Tucker?
Well, right now, Trey Tucker's produced. The Raiders' passing offense has produced. I do worry about Geno Smith and his ability with the deep ball. He's a very good deep ball thrower, and we are short corners. And one thing about the Raiders is they have a lot of athleticism on that outside. Trey Tucker is fast. Dante Thornton, that's another guy that I liked into the draft. We ended up getting Luther Burden. I'm completely satisfied, but Dante Thornton is a guy I would have loved to select in the 4th, 5th round. I mean, he's got 4.3 speed, 6'4". And speed does not just make you a great player. but we're short in the secondary. So Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Dante Thornton, those guys being thrown the ball from a veteran like Geno Smith, who's very good on deep ball accuracy and deep ball throws. That kind of scares me, especially with our depleted secondary. So I'm going to say Geno. Geno worries me the most out of those guys you named because he has all the weapons at his disposal and he's got a depleted Bears secondary.
So it sounds like you have more confidence in the run defense than the pass rush.
Yeah, I've got more. Well, the lowest of confidence is it really falls in that secondary because we struggled against Jameson Williamson. We struggled against Amon-Ra St. Brown and Dante Thornton, Trey Tucker. They're very similar to Jameson Williams. These are guys that get deep. These are guys that are going to hit you with the 9 routes, the 7 routes, the 8 routes, maybe some deep digs, some 5s, some 6s. So we definitely have to stay vigilant in that back 7. Hope Dennis Allen comes up with a great game plan to keep the set. I know Jaquan wants to play near the line of scrimmage, but you can't afford to have Geno flip this game on his head. One pass can suck all the momentum away. And you talked about momentum being key. You could be up 14 nothing, and then one play later, a 57-yard bomb cuts that lead in half. That's what you do not want to have.
Bears defense showed tremendous improvement last week, holding Dallas to just 14 points, got 3 interceptions, 4 total turnovers. If they can if they can get the pressure on Geno again, stacking momentum. If they can get that pressure on Geno, who was sacked 5 times last week by the Commandos, they can replicate the same defensive um, output that they had last week. They can start forcing turnovers if they get that pressure. The Bears pass rush did pressure Dak on 40% of his dropbacks last week. So
Dennis Allen turned up
it's
the pressure.
possible.
It also helps when you get a team down 2 touchdowns. You kind of limit what they could do in the run game, and you're not as afraid of the run game wearing you down. They're playing catch up, so eventually they got to throw the ball. So your linemen can kind of get after the quarterback board. You can dial up some blitzes. The one thing about Geno is you've already alluded to it. He was sacked 5 times, and that's not always all on the offensive lineman. As we learned in Chicago, Geno will hold on to the ball. One of the trade-offs with being a guy who has propensity to throw deep is you tend to be a guy that holds the ball a lot. Geno's a guy that'll hold the ball for a long time, so you do have a chance to get sacks. Geno would also try to fit the ball in the tight spaces. He'll also try to throw it in a double coverage. You can get some picks, you can get some sacks off Geno. The Bears defense has a chance to build a momentum. They got to be disciplined. They got to be disciplined in their run fits. They got to be disciplined in their zones and their reads. You can't fall for double moves. You can't fall for play action. You have to stay honest. You do not want Dante Thornton and Trey Tucker to get behind you because when they're behind you, you're not going to catch those guys.
Yeah, I don't want to see none of our guys, Nashawn or
Tyreek,
Tyreek, in pursuit too often.
you
I
ain't
want them
catching them
to
games.
I want to keep the play in front of them. That exactly what they did last week. I need a repeat of that. Momentum is the word of the day. I do have some trepidation about what the Bears can do in this run defense against Ashton Jonty. The little bit I've seen of the Raiders this season, I'm less convinced that they can flip a switch and expose the Bears' rush defense more than, to your point, their pass offense is already clicking up. So I definitely want to see. I'm definitely cautious about how Dennis Allen schemes up how to stop them from being able to expose our secondary versus what can happen in the backfield for the run game. All that being said, front 7, be on your P's and Q's. Be on your P's and Q's. We need to get pressure. We need to get in the backfield. We need to make things happen.
Don't let that kid get to rumbling. And I say that with a little bit of sadness in my heart. I have several shares of Ashton Dante in fantasy. Not several. I think I got 2 shares. I got him in 2 of my. Yeah, I got him in about 2 leagues. So kind of want to see Janty get to rolling. Doesn't have to be this week. I got good running backs wherever he's at, but yeah, I kind of want to see I want to see the Bears. I will put the Bears over my own personal happiness. I could always bench Janti. Dobbins got Cincinnati. I might go with Dobbins, Dobbins and Gibbs. In another league, I got Mason. Janti might have to ride the bench.
It sounds like a smart play. Let's talk predictions. This game has all the makings of a high scoring affair. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Second week in a row. Both teams have struggled in coverage. They've ranked among the bottom 8 in coverage teams overall in the whole league. If the improved version of the Bears secondary shows up like they did last week, momentum, Chicago should be heavily favored, even though right now DraftKings got them as a 1.5 point road dog. I'm taking the Bears to take this one home 28-24. The Bears' offensive layers and Caleb's progression should be enough to overcome the Raiders. Caleb gets his first career road win. Bears go into the bye 2-2. How do you see it?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, no pun intended, and the pessimistic one. The Bears have just let me down way too many times when I've got excited. Way too many times where we think they're finally turning a corner. I got to see it to believe it. I got to see it to believe it. The Raiders' weapons definitely concern me. The Bears' defense definitely concerns me more. I'm going Raiders 31-28, but I do see another very good Caleb performance,
Well, that's the first time you picked against the Bears all season. Ooh.
and I hope I'm
Ooh,
wrong.
that's so our preseason prediction. I think we both had the Bears 3-1 going into the bye.
I was waffling on this Raiders game uh back then too. I just have an uneasy feeling about this game for some reason.
Mm,
I hope the Bears
mm.
prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. I'm gonna stand 10 toes down with my squad though, man. I picked them all 4 games, even though I had them at 2-2 on the preseason watch. I'm rolling with the squad. I'm all in.
That's what she said.
Bear down.
Bear down.
Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say 3 things. Bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.